So you've made the mistake of studying at UWC. Perfect. It's a self-taught struggle. Okay, that's an exaggeration. It's just that for the IB, a lot of effort comes from yourself, and honestly, you can't trust your teachers to like hand you everything. Hi, I'm Tara. I'm a second year at UwC Costa Rica. I come from Belgium and India, and my courses that I take are Anthropology, English Language, and Theater HL, and then I take ESS, Spanish B, and Math AI SL. So let me give you guys some tips, maybe specific to UwC Costa Rica, about how you're supposed to do your classwork, your official assignments, your exams, and how you're supposed to manage your time with the whole UWC part of it as well. So let's get into it.
Okay, let's start with classwork. It's very annoying, but you have to get it done, and I get it. It feels so useless, but it's actually really necessary because this is something that trains you. And I think when you come to UWC, you're so ready to just do the actual IB assignment that like the training seems kind of useless, but you kind of do need it. So I'd say do it. It really depends on the class, what kind of classwork you will have. Like, for example, I had practice IAs for math. Other than that, like practice paper ones in English and these things that can feel so tedious, and it's just like, oh my god, I don't want to do this right now. I'd rather do it in my own time, or like something. And also showing up to class. Please show up to class. There's so many. I mean, like, I'm not the best person to say this, for example, but like, I think showing up to class really like at least forces you to learn and forces you to do things that you might as well want to. There's really not much to say about classwork in general. It's just very tiring and very straining to some extent, I would say. It's not like it's horrible, but it's just another thing in the way, and you just have to get it done. And think of it as a practice, as a way to study for your final official things, so it's okay. So the thing about assignments in the IB is that they're going to be at the worst of times all the time, because every time is the worst time. So you have to focus on time management, and I think this is more in the sense of planning it, actually doing it, and then refining it. Like, those are the three phases I would break it into. Like, let's for example use my anthropology internal assessment. So for that, you have to do like research of interviews and doing group participation, or whatever you're supposed to be looking at, or whatever you're focusing on. Let's say, for example, for me, like the first thing I did obviously was the critical reflection. I think that's what it's called. I don't know, it's been a while since I did this, but you do the critical reflection / evaluation, whatever comes first, and that's just basically where you reflect on the idea. This is unique to anthropology, so ignore that for every other subject. But if you're doing anthro, then you'll have to do that first, and then you'll go into like, after that, you have to do obviously all the other things. But the critical reflection isn't really like all that much. What I will say, however, is to focus a lot on creating like a plan, and to make sure that you know what you're doing at every step of the way. And like, it's because like sometimes when you look at an assignment, you're like, I don't know where to start. But if you plan and you're like, okay, I'm going to do this specific part, I'm going to research this specific thing, it becomes a lot easier. So I would really say focus on like, what exactly are you doing, and instead of just like saying, okay, just do IA, like instead of putting it like that in your to-do calendar, I feel like putting it as like finished introduction is a lot more feasible and is a lot more doable, and breaks it down into like much smaller pieces that you can actually manage. Another thing is to also look at resources that are from official sources. Like, for example, for my math IA, instead of searching like the internet instead of searching like some random book, or like, you know, doing an experiment myself, I literally just took things off the internet from like UN databases. And I did this for ESS as well. I took air quality data from India, and basically it's a lot easier to just say collect data than say do your IA, because that's very unclear and it doesn't give you a good idea either. So I would say do that. As someone currently going through exam season, let me just say it's been going on for quite a while. So the exam seasons that we have at UwCr specifically is that we have midterms in the first year, which is like October. Then we have finals of the first year, which is December. And then we have midterms again in like March, and then finals again in May. That's for first year. For second year, you have midterms again, October, finals in December. Then you have mocks in March instead, and those are longer because now you have actually everything. And then obviously you have your final official IB exams. Mocks are a procedural thing. Everything else we do is for funsies. And I honestly don't understand why we have this many testing things a year. Like, that's like 8 exam seasons in 2 years.
Like, that's more than the amount of times that we go to class. But specifically at the UWC, we have a lot of those. It might seem scary at first because I was coming from a school that we only had like one exam at the end of the year per class. Like, that was kind of just what we did. And here, however, it's like, you know, like every 2 minutes you have an exam. But to be fair, we don't have quizzes in class at all. Like, you never have a quiz because you just have so many exams to go off of. And it kind of teaches you the time pressure also, because I feel like having a random quiz in a random class might be more daunting than that. So honestly, I prefer this way now compared to my old school, which was also like an international IB school. So yeah. And I think, let me go through this subject by subject on how to best study for it. I think for English, the best thing you can do is literally look at random pictures and be like, wow, I noticed this, this, and this. I would use it like this in a paragraph. Like, you don't actually have to do much. Obviously, IB English guys are there to help you if you need it. But I think it's genuinely just practicing that paper 1 and making sure you have your things ready for paper 2. And for lit, then I guess read a book or something. I don't know, I don't take lit. And I think for anthropology, the best thing you can do is review key concepts and terms and practice using them in anthropological contexts. And I mean, I can go more in depth on this if someone wants to, but it's mainly like terms, how to use them, how to like best effectively do something with it. I think for math is obviously just do all the questions over and over again until you've done every single question that you could find on Revision Village. Like, that's honestly the best way for math. I think for ESS it's a similar thing, like as many questions as you can, because as much as you can review the topics, honestly the questions are so random and different compared to what you probably would have studied in the like slideshows or the textbook or something. So yeah, I think for Spanish also the best thing you can do is, or like for language B, is just obviously immerse yourself in that language and keep practicing the paper 1s. Honestly, the best tip is past papers all the way. Interesting thing, theater. Oh yeah, theater doesn't have exams, but like, you know, theater's another thing. Anyway, also to focus on like where are your study spaces, because I think this is great. Like, I have, now that I've tried out every single study space on campus for all of these exam seasons, I've realized which is my strongest one, where do I focus better, like what do I prefer, like what do I like in my location. So I feel like making sure you have your study spaces and maybe designate some to a subject. Like, that's what I kind of do. Like, one place I know is only for math. Like, we call it the math table. Like, that's how mathy it is. And then I know like I go to the library to do other things. So yeah, this would be my general advice. Sorry it's kind of short, but I think that honestly there's not much like else to, I mean, there is a lot to say, but for a short overview at academics, I just wanted to like highlight the fact that there's so much time crunch. And I mean, so much. And it feels like you can't really do anything at times, but I want you to know that it's not always that way, that if you break it down, it will be a lot easier to manage. And speaking about the UWC side of things, a lot of the UWC things take up time. And I mean that as in like family dances or family this and family that, and a lot more things that are like, because we have here thematic weeks, right? So you're going to put on a cultural show, or you might have open mics and you want to practice for that, or you might do your casts and they might require a bit of extra time, or there's just a lot of things that might take up more time than you initially expected. And just want you to know that that's okay. That's a thing that can happen. And if you have to prioritize something for UWC over something for the IB, don't feel bad at all. I mean, I don't think you will when it happens, because it will, but I don't think you should feel bad at all. And also, like, to prioritize your friends and these people that you meet here, because UWC is so much more than just the IB. So please don't treat it that way. But I do also want to remind you that it is also with the IB. So just don't forget that, and have a good day. Love you.